Your accurate forecast from Adam Bell starts now with Storm Tracker weather on Montana's news station.
Well, good Thursday morning, everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying your Thursday so far. Still a little bit chilly out there, but we're looking at improving conditions over the coming days here in southwest Montana, and the peak looks to be tomorrow afternoon as we see plenty of sunshine to go around. So by this afternoon, high pressure is going to be sitting off the Washington-Oregon coastline, pushing the jet stream up into Canada. So all these storm systems that you see out over the Pacific should go well off to our north. We are still under a brief northwesterly flow, especially across northern Montana, maybe bringing a few later clouds this afternoon as that low pressure well off to our east now that brought the cooler weather earlier this week moves on out. But you can see that the cooler weather is going to quickly leave the area as we head toward the afternoon hours, evening hours tonight into tomorrow morning. That high begins to build a little further toward the south and east, and you can see pushing that jet stream out of Montana, and by tomorrow afternoon, that's when we're going to start seeing some sunny and just plain hot conditions across southwest Montana as we get a very strong southerly flow. 80s and 90s are likely across most of the area, so much warmer weather, if you want it, is on its way and just in time for the weekend as well. Satellite radar composite across the Pacific Northwest, no clouds. It's a beautiful morning this morning. Let's go ahead and take a live look at our iCam and see for ourselves if we can. Picture perfect weather this morning, a beautiful picture of the sunrise out there. We're losing a couple minutes of daylight every day, but it's still rising pretty early, so it's not too bad out there, but it is a little chilly as you walk out this morning. 40s for the most part, a couple degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday morning, and this afternoon a couple degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday afternoon. Pushing near 90 degrees east of the divide, 80s across the western part of our viewing area. And as we go into the evening hours tonight, look for clear skies, 40s and 50s for the overnight lows. So not as cool as the past couple of mornings that we've seen. And a brief look at the next 7 days shows, well, not too bad. We're looking at nice hot weather by your Friday, 93 degrees, and then we cool back down to around 90 for over the weekend. And then just the lower 80s as we head toward early next week. 70s, though, in the mining city. Not bad, though, for the month of July. Lindsay?
Thanks, Adam. And stories now, let's check in with meteorologist Adam Bell for a look at your weather. Adam?
Well, Lindsay, I think we're going to have a big dose of sunshine over the next several days here in southwest Montana. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, not only today into the weekend, but even into early next week before we even see a threat for some clouds, but still looking dry even for most of next week as well. High pressure sitting off the coastline of the Pacific Northwest, sending all of these Pacific systems in a straight line up into Canada, giving us some nice warm southwesterly flow, and we're going to peak probably tomorrow afternoon with our high temperatures in the 80s and 90s. A chilly start across southwest Montana, eastern Idaho this morning, 40s once again, so the jacket could be a necessity this morning, but not by this afternoon, as we're going to be in the 70s by noon across the area and quickly climbing into the 80s and even a couple isolated 90s out there, especially on the eastern part of the divide out near Billings. So mostly sunny skies for much of the Pacific Northwest. A beautiful day across the region, maybe a few clouds for eastern Montana. Tonight, clear skies and dropping down a little bit warmer as we get into the upper 40s to lower 50s. That's a look at your latest forecast. More news right after this.
Your accurate forecast from Adam Bell starts now with Storm Tracker weather on Montana's news station.
Well, welcome back on this beautiful Thursday morning here in southwest Montana. How can you complain about a picture like this? The satellite radar composite across our viewing area, nothing to talk about. There's one or two clouds up toward Lewistown, but that's about it, as we have beautifully sunny skies this morning. But why tell you about it when we have the luxury of showing you to it as we look at our iCam this morning? Let's go live outside with our Bozeman iCam. Let me get out of the way and see this beautiful sun rising up over the horizon. Now, we are losing a couple minutes of daylight. Sunrise is just about 10 minutes before the 6 o'clock hour, and we're looking at pretty cool temperatures across the region this morning too. 47 degrees at the last hour. Compare that to 10 o'clock when we were in the 60s when I was outside last night, so much cooler this morning. And we are close to normal, a couple degrees cooler than normal, but not as cool as we were yesterday. We were in the upper 30s. That tied a record low set back in 1944 in the Bozeman area. Over in the mining city, much cooler, 41 degrees, and I wouldn't be surprised if we dip down to the 30s before things are all said and done this morning. Normally we should be in the mid-40s, so everyone on the cool side this morning, but everybody will be back up to seasonal or warmer by this afternoon. Here's the reason why. We've been seeing a somewhat northwesterly flow the last couple of days, and as you can see on this forecast is still going on this morning, but by this afternoon and evening, we're beginning to see that high pressure slide onshore. And as it does so, that's what's going to bring some warmer temperatures across our area, pushing the ridge and the jet stream well off to the north up into Canada, keeping us high and dry, and then starting to pump in some warm air. By tomorrow afternoon, we're starting to see very warm conditions, very strong ridge. We're going to be pushing into the 80s and 90s across much of the area. So very warm conditions over the next couple of days. 80s to near 90 possible east of the divide this afternoon. Overnight tonight, we're still dropping down to the 40s and 50s, so not as cool, but still some cool temperatures out there across the region. Lindsay?
Fair, accurate, to the point. This is Montana This Morning on Montana's news station.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with Montana This Morning. I'm Lindsay Klein. It is Thursday, July 15th. I hope you're enjoying your Thursday morning. Just ahead, we've got a look at all your local news, but first, meteorologist Adam Bell is in with a look at your forecast. Adam.
Well, Lindsay, what a perfect day to start out here in southwest Montana. A little bit chilly out there for a few, but we're going to see some picture-perfect conditions once again this afternoon. We've been slowly warming up since about Tuesday afternoon. We're getting warmer and warmer every day, and today is no exception, but a little bit cool once again as you head out the door this morning. Low 40s in the mining city, not as cold as what we saw yesterday where most of us were in the upper 30s. In fact, we tied a record low in the Bozeman area yesterday morning. Clear skies not only across southwest Montana or the state of Montana, but the entire Pacific Northwest, dominated by high pressure, and that story isn't going to change anytime soon. 80s today, 90s tomorrow in the Bozeman area, a very similar setup in Butte. We could be pushing near 90 degrees, nowhere near record highs, but still nice warm conditions just in time for that weekend forecast. All those details and much more in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Adam.
Your accurate forecast from Adam Bell starts now with Storm Tracker weather on Montana's news station.
It's been a long time coming, but we're finally starting to see summer weather move into southwest Montana and the entire Pacific Northwest. Strong high pressure sitting just off the Pacific coastline this morning, pushing all of these Pacific systems that are trailing back all the way down toward the central Pacific, well off to the north up into Canada. So we're looking at some very nice conditions. But sometimes when you get these warm and dry conditions, we start getting some fires to develop. In fact, we have one sitting just to our south and west out in Idaho. This fire has burned 109,000 acres, and just as of last night, I know I reported about 10 to 20% contained. Some good news is that now it's at 60% contained, so they're improving the containment on this fire, but it is burning about 109,000 acres, or the equivalent of 170 square miles. To give you an idea, that's roughly about 8 or 9% of the size of either Silver Bow or Gallatin County. Now, as we look at what's going on downtown Butte, looking pretty darn spiffy this morning. Mostly sunny skies, and we're going to see that warm weather continue. And with that southwesterly flow, we may even see a little bit of some smoke from that fire in the coming days. Clear skies over down in Bozeman at the Gallatin Field Airport, 47 degrees. So another cool morning this morning, just a couple degrees below normal, but not nearly as cool as yesterday morning, where we had those upper 30s, and that actually tied a record low set back in 1944. 41 degrees right now in the mining city, so another cool start this morning, and once again, it may drop down to the 30s before things are all said and done. As we head into the afternoon hours, how can it get better than this? 80s and possibly 90 degrees east of the divide, 70s for those higher elevations, so everybody is on the up and up in terms of the mercury levels, and it's only going to get warmer even for tomorrow. Overnight tonight, not as cool as the last couple of nights under those clear skies. A few upper 30s possible out toward Wisdom and West Yellowstone, but the next 7 days, the warmest is definitely going to be your Friday, 94 degrees, though we're still not going to be breaking any records. The record's still near 103 degrees in the Bozeman area, but then we cool down just a little bit down into the 80s, but still very summer-like conditions for both Bozeman and Butte. So if you have an opportunity to spend some time outside, I highly recommend it this weekend, as we're going to see picture-perfect conditions across southwest Montana. Lindsay?
Now let's see what's going on in the forecast with meteorologist Adam Bell. Adam?
Well, Lindsay, we're looking for unseasonably warm conditions to move through for your tomorrow afternoon. And you can see the numbers actually are about 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of year, but nowhere near the records, especially looking at the Bozeman area, 94 degrees compared to the record high of 103 back in 2007. So very warm conditions, but not record-breaking heat is what you can expect as we head toward your Friday. And then a cool down after that as we drop just a few degrees off of our highs, but still very nice summer-like conditions moving on in to southwest Montana. As we look at your State Farm road conditions report this morning, no complaints. Once again, dry conditions all around as you head into work and similar conditions as you head out of work later on this afternoon. But you will want those sunglasses and maybe even the jacket this morning. A little bit on the cool side. We do have some low 40s out there, especially west of the divide, and plenty of construction going on today as well. So lots of restrictions on the roadways. So just allow that few extra minutes in case there are some delays thanks to the construction. As we look at the high pressure dominating, you can see all the storms moving well off to our north into Canada. The entire Pacific Northwest United States just shaping up beautifully for sunny and warm conditions over the coming days. 41 degrees in Idaho Falls and Butte this morning, so still a chilly start this morning compared to the 61 in Salt Lake, or even along the I-5 corridor from Seattle down to Medford, looking at 60s all around across western Oregon this morning in Washington. But we are looking at warmer conditions to move on through, but still starting out on the cool side as you see out there this morning. This afternoon, 80s and 90s, so a warm one for much of the area. And overnight tonight, we're still looking pretty good as well, with clear skies, 40s and 50s for our overnight lows. More news and weather right after this.
Now let's check in with meteorologist Adam Bell for a look at your Thursday weather forecast. Adam.
Well, I think the word of the day is sunshine. We're going to see plenty of it as we work our way throughout the day today, even into the weekend as well. So some very warm conditions over the next several days here in southwest Montana, with the warmest being tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above normal. 80s to near 90 east of the divide this afternoon, so the sunshine continuing with unseasonably warm conditions. 81 even in the mining city. 74 degrees though even in Wisdom. Yesterday they were in the 60s, so it's nice to see that warm weather move on into much of southwest Montana. Overnight tonight we're looking at clear skies out there, a little bit warmer, pushing near 50 degrees out toward Bozeman and Livingston. 46 though in Butte, and then the higher elevations still dropping down to the 30s, so a little chilly for your Friday morning in a few places, but still not bad for our finish in the afternoon. And as we look at the next 7 days, just plain hot on your Friday, 94 degrees. Still not a record high, though we're about 10 to 15 degrees above normal for your Friday afternoon high. So very nice warm conditions across the area. Then a little bit of a cool down under mostly sunny skies as we head toward Monday into Tuesday, but still not bad, right around normal or just a couple degrees below. And then as we jump over into the mining city, sunshine early, a few more clouds moving on through, but just a picture perfect weather scenario moving on through across southwest Montana for the next several days. So it's kind of nice to see that warm weather stick around for more than a day or two.
Yeah, and it's Thursday, which means music on Main Street, so
Absolutely.
people can get out there tonight and enjoy the weather.
Tonight, still in the 70s by that time, so it's actually a great opportunity to spend some time outside.
That sounds great. Well, we'll see you back here at noon, 5:30, and 10, and me and Adam will see you here tomorrow morning. I hope you have a great Thursday and rest of the week.